archangels, ghosts, and Bigfoot. Oh my. It's just another night for Supernatural Girls. Real stories, real answers to life's biggest supernatural mysteries. And now for another exciting interview with paranormal experts from this world and others. Here's your host, paranormal researcher Patricia Baker, on the one, the only Supernatural Girls.
Welcome, everyone, to another exciting episode of Supernatural Girls. I'm your host, Patricia Baker, and in a minute, our co-host, PK, is going to come back and join us. She was waiting for a delivery. I believe it finally showed up. So in the meantime, I'm going to tell you about our guest tonight. She is somebody we love. This is Christine Alexandria, and she's the angel lady. We bring her here to help people to understand their connection to angels, to feel connected again, to ask for their help, and find out how to get help. And Christine's an absolute expert on all of that. So she's here with us tonight. So since we're waiting for PK, I'll tell you a little bit more about Christine. She's the founder of Angel Chatter, and she is also a gifted clairvoyant, an award-winning author, and the creator of the exclusive Angel Chatter line that includes sacred aromatherapy, jewelry, and 2 channeled oracle decks. Now, she is the creator of the Angel Chatter Academy, where you can choose from a selection of online courses that will enhance your life. Course offerings include her flagship course, the BU program, the Breakup with Clutter. Oh my God, I need that one.
There's 2 of us.
Gosh.
It's cluttered.
I know. And the Itty Bitty course of manifestation as an example. So Christine is committed to helping you live your most magical life. We love that. And we support all of Christine's work.
Oh, definitely.
Of course, you have to do it with the help of angels. So Christine offers private sessions and one-on-one private weekends. And to contact her, you can go to angelchatter.com on the web. And PK, we're going to take it back to you first because you've got some stuff to share about the numbers.
It's a new month. And oh my gosh, do we really?
Yeah.
It's all about relationships and freeing yourself from things you know what don't want to deal with anymore. Let it go. It's going to be a time when you can write down things that come to your mind. Think in terms that this month is great for alternative healing, alternative medicines, but the family issues, deal with it as best you can. Don't try to manipulate or try to manufacture something to be other than it really is, because you're going to find that it's going to take you down instead of taking the issue down.
Oh.
So, but think in terms of this. This is a perfect month for getting involved with alternative medicines. Or doing things for the overall well-being of health. But family is going to be your priority this month. So do the best you can, but don't meddle. There's too many people out there scratching at the surface. Oh, I've got the answer for you. Oh, let me fix it.
Don't do that.
Nope, because you can't. If you bend over, you won't be able to sit. Let's put it that way. Just a thought. But there's a lot of good stuff that's coming this month because we can take a look at making the family unit better. We last month did a lot of upscale running and trying to put things into place. Now we have the alternative to do it. Anything to do with home and family, perfect. Also take a look at pets. Pets are going to be important this month.
Okay.
So then
what do we need to do for our pets?
Well, TLC, pay attention and don't overdo. Sometimes we tend to overdo.
Mm-hmm.
We overthink what we think they need.
Mm-hmm.
They'll let you know what they really need.
Okay.
And it's in terms of all aspects, thinking family-wise, which also deals with our digestion, paying attention to what we eat and what we feed them. That might be more important.
Okay. So what is on the menu? We need to pay attention.
Mm-hmm. Yes, most definitely.
Okay. So if you would like to call in during the show, if you have a question for Christine, You can do that. Our phone number, 855-472-5483. 855-472-5483. But what I got very excited about tonight with our guest is the fact that she is now channeling light language. This is something brand new. So we're going to have to be introduced to all of this and hear right from Christine how she does it and what it's about and how it can affect people.
Oh,
So
yes.
let me see if I had anything else to add to this beautiful bio and resume. I think I said it all. So why don't we just bring her on the show? Christine, welcome.
Hello, you two beautiful, beautiful goddesses. Thank you so much for having me back.
Oh, you're wonderful. We enjoy having you here.
It's beautiful to see you for a change. Usually we're on the phone, so this is lovely.
Right. That's right. It's so much better. I love your new hairstyle too.
Thank you.
Lovely. It is.
Nice. Yes.
Very feminine. Very feminine.
Oh, well, thank you, darling.
Yes.
So I just want to start off saying that people can contact you for not only the courses that you teach, but for individual readings also.
Absolutely.
So if they want to schedule that, they can go to angelchatter.com and schedule their own private reading with you. Now, last time you were here, you did some readings obviously you had to keep it short for people, but it was a very exciting time. It was great. But let's start out with you because you're doing this new stuff. Tell us what happened. What was the shift in your work?
We only have an hour, so I'll be quick. Many years ago, one of my students had been beginning to do light language, and she was finishing up the BU program and wanted to become authorized by me. So part of that authorization, they have to do so many readings, and the last one they do is for me. So, and it turns out they give me a reading, and then it turns into a coaching session, to help them along their way from the business perspective. So during this reading, I guess you poked the bear. I could feel this light language coming in, but being who I am, I didn't want to steal her thunder. I didn't want to think that I was like making this stuff up. So like what a lot of us do. So I was kind of chuckling when you said, PK, getting rid of things that no longer serve you, really focusing on relationships, but I'm going, it's also the relationships within us. And that one was no more hiding. You know what? That's it. Done.
Sounds perfect.
Yeah. So I was at an event in April out in Arizona, and the woman who was leading this, and there were about, like 175 people, I think, in this room. And she was leading this meditation. We were going way, way out to the ethers. And she's on one side of the ballroom, and I'm literally on the other. And she also channels light language. So she's guiding us in English, and then she dips into light language. Well, she's going, and then I'm going, but they're not sounding the same. And I did one of these things like, what is this? But every single time, and every time she stopped, I naturally stopped. She start, I start. I'm like, this is kind of interesting. So I began to play with it, and I have a couple of clients that have been with me for a bit. Like, can you be my guinea pig? And let me see how this works with you. And they're like, yeah, bring it on. So started playing with it. And I was just at a very long weekend training mastermind this past weekend, full of incredible, powerful women who are intuitive in their own right. And I made the offer. And honestly, I thought I would get maybe 6 that say, hey, let me try. I had 17.
Oh my.
And that's with a full, like we're doing 6 to 8, 9-hour days of training. So I'm kind of fitting. We made it work. I did 17. We're making it work.
Wow.
And it was just,
wow.
It was just a beautiful thing. And every single woman was just blown away. And it was different every time. Yeah, they were just like us. There were some things that did overlap, but not every person got the same thing by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, one woman, she got her energetic crown on. Some others who are natural healers had their chakras in their hands woken up. There was a lot of chakra alignment and integration for them. So it just went everywhere. It just went everywhere based on what they needed.
Now, when you do this
Mhm.
channeling of light language, is it in English or is this something?
No, it's like Japanese and German and Polish had a baby. It's
Oh,
Okay.
oh,
yeah,
that's interesting. I can
yeah,
read that right away.
I
yeah,
just wanted to share this with everybody, and I'm sure, Christine, you can appreciate it.
yeah.
Becky Andreasen, who has unfortunately passed,
Mhm.
she could speak angel language and she could write it.
That's amazing.
She wrote this as a blessing for the show.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah, I wanted to just share.
Don't ask me to read it because I can't.
No,
Oh,
it's all right.
oh.
But what I did learn,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's very, very unique and very, very special.
Mhm.
From what I remember when Becky was with us, there was really very few people who could do this.
yeah.
Mhm.
And I've been very humbled. And this weekend, because sometimes, you get into that mindset, am I making this up? And, am I just, making a bunch of noise or whatever? And the testimonials that they are offering to write say something different.
So when they listen to you, they don't necessarily get a cognitive experience. They get a full-on emotional,
Yes.
spiritual experience.
And that's what it is. Because I tell them, I say, you can't understand it.
Mhm.
Excuse me. So don't try to translate it or anything. Just allow the process, allow the energy to come through. And what was happening over the weekend, that it would be broken up into 3 segments. I would channel light language and then they would stop. And then I would check in with you and say, how are you doing? Anything you want to share? Like, no, I'm fine. And some of them were just totally blissed out. And then they would have a second round of light language. And then they would stop. And I'd ask again, just checking in, always all fine. And then when they were done, excuse me, got some throat chakra going on with you guys. They would end up with, and then they would be done. Out of my body, gone. And my hands just start doing all sorts of crazy things. I did a lecture a couple of months ago when I was just like, let me see how this works. And my husband came. He said, what was that? Because he had never seen it before. And what's with the hands? And I said, I don't know. I'm not controlling anything. But during the sessions this weekend, I just let it go. And there were a few things I would remember, like I just shared. And they put a crown on your head, and then you had your chakras, so I would remember these little things that I could share with them afterwards. But for the most part, I'd say 100%, I probably have no idea what 85% of it was.
So you really are a vessel for this.
I think so. I think so.
I guess so, for sure.
You've been with me long enough for you to know that that's a big thing for me to agree to. So I think so.
How exciting. Now, does this also visit you in your dreams? Do you have any other experiences, or it's just that it happens when you're working with people?
Most consciously when I'm working with people, but apparently I do this in my sleep. And I have been for years. I remember, oh gosh, we were living in Massachusetts. So that's like 20 years ago. I would wake up with such a start at night that I would like hurl up. And I realized I was traveling at night doing what I would have much of a recollection. So I had to have a big old conversation with them. Okay, if you want me to be doing this, you have to put me back in my body nicely. So they've started doing that. So when one of our close family member had some big medical issues last year, and I was really not happy with this for a lot of reasons. And at the same time, the war in Ukraine was really heating up. And I remember this night, I go to bed, I go, that's it, heads are going to roll. And that's not me. The next morning, one of my students said, the next time you decide to go traveling at night and wielding swords, would you not give me a heads up? Because the next thing I know, I've got your back, and you're just like taking everybody down. I'm like, I didn't know I was doing that, but sorry. Maybe.
Oh my. So connected we all are, huh?
Yeah. So apparently I have been for years, but I'm so grateful I don't remember most of it. Because
I can understand that.
Yeah, there's just so much stuff going on in the world. You know what? I know enough here. I don't need to know about it when I'm trying to sleep and rest at the same time.
No, you need to recover.
Exactly.
Was it like a heavy pull for you when you're going through that?
I'm sorry, when I go through
Was
what?
it like a heavy pull towards the body when you're going through the dream state or the things that are going through your mind?
That's a good question. I've never really thought about it. I know they keep me awake like a lot during, you would probably know better because you're much better versed in astrology than I am, because remember, it makes my hair hurt. So, there's stuff going on. It's just like, and I know with the moon, the moon affects me. Luna affects me. So she'll keep me up at night. And it doesn't always have to be the full moon anymore, but I know it's her pulling me.
Oh.
But the other stuff, I don't know. I just kind of like try to not know so much sometimes. I just allow, I know what I'm doing is high powered energy, light work, and not being glib about it. But so I don't really get caught up in the schematics, like, oh, look at me, look what I've done. Because that's just like, you know what? Great. Give me $1 and that won't even get me a cup of coffee. So this is all of that.
Not anymore.
Right? Not, exactly. Not even anymore.
Yeah.
Not even a crappy coffee. So it's that act of service I do that there's no payment, and I only share in scenarios like this when you kind of poke and pull it out of me. Otherwise I'm like, guess what I did today? That's just, that's all ego. Because there's no way to prove it, right? Yeah. So I just let it happen as it happens.
Sorry, I just found a tick crawling around on my hand.
Only you. He's sending you a message.
I have to
behavior he's going to bite.
Dispose of this creature.
Oh dear.
Not that easy to dispose of, but I got him.
Yes.
Oh, you're a Frank Buck. Frank Buck in the making.
Not allowed.
It's allowed here. Sorry. So, can you do that with PK, and then we can see what happens to her?
Oh.
I like how she threw you under the bus first.
Well, PK has to be
So of course I can, and thank you for asking and letting me. What would you like to focus on, PK?
My life. Do I have one? Will I have one?
Oh, PK.
I have family. Too many family.
You always hide so well in your glibness. Apa sini semete ko sini besi kata ni sini besi menti o sini besi ko tinta juice sini ko kata sini besi ko tiko sito ko hi ko sini besi ko tiko ni ko siko sini besi ko sika sini besi menti besi mini o mini ko si sini ko sika besi kata sikara so to sini besi ko sita ka sita ka sita ka to ko sika to sita mini siko ni mesi ko menti ka sini ko siko ho sì, che si così così. Mi messi così, sai che si così, così così. Si messi in casa, si nel mio. Mi meni così, si capisco.
What did you feel?
You okay there, PK?
Yes, it kept drawing me into a very negative situation I'm dealing with right now that deals with family. And I'm going, ooh, takes my breath away.
Which is why the only thing I remember, there was a lot of healing around your heart happening.
Thank you for that, because I have a bit of a concern over that of late.
Yeah.
Because of the weight of what's been happening.
I'm sorry. I'm very sorry to hear that. The healing will happen on the physical, mental, emotional, spiritual levels. You know the drill.
Sure do.
Lots of water. No drugs, no alcohols. Let this process do some primal screaming, rage it out.
I do that a lot.
so you don't hold it in.
Yeah.
I had a client yesterday, has a beautiful child. And without getting into how am I going to say this? Without getting into too specifics, it's a trying time. And he's a little guy, I said, you know what? Scream. She's like, what? I go, just the two of you screamed.
Yeah.
And she said, we did. We started singing, and then I collapsed into a nap. I said, yep, that's how it happens.
Excellent.
Kind of creates a reset.
It does. And when you scream it out, you're getting rid of that. Because, it takes more energy to be angry and worried than it does to be happy. So if you're holding on to all this not great stuff, think of all that energy that you're spending, which is why you're tired, you get irritable, all that. So if you can rage it out, you're going to be tired afterwards.
It's constantly like feeling you're packing everything down until it can't be packed any harder. Then it explodes, and then reality sets in.
Right. And that explosion usually isn't very pretty.
No, it is not.
No, it's not a good thing. So if we can get ahead of it a little bit by doing that screaming on our own, by our own choice, even if it's in a pillow, you have a pool, go under the water and just scream it at that and everywhere else, it helps so much. It's a beautiful thing. So that's your homework, PK.
Thank you. And I will definitely take your advice.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I hope everything gets better for you.
The only place it's got to go is up, right?
Yes.
That's what I'm going to anticipate.
Okay.
Now, also, Christine, when you do this, do you sense and feel the angels around you? Are there certain ones that show up for this, or you just never know who's going to show up?
I never know. I never know. I have noticed, because I did, like I said, 17 this past weekend. So just because I'm curious, excuse me. And I would notice my tone would change a little bit within the same session or from client to client. And if they had me drawing any of the angel sigils that are in the angel chatter deck, I noticed that it was repeated. I'm like, this is interesting. And I noticed that with you, PK. Raphael did his thing 3 times and the same phrase came out 3 times. So it's just an awareness that I'm witnessing this happening. And then sometimes it's really cool. They're working on you and then they stop. And it's like, oh, let me see how this is going so far. And they'll do kind of that. And sometimes I've heard them giggle and it's like, okay. And like they're giggling because it's going really well. They're giggling because they're infusing you with more joy. So it's really interesting on how it just unfolds.
Very nice. Yeah. And it's
very nice indeed.
Thank you.
It's fairly effortless for your client to be receiving this. So all they have to do is be there, be present, breathe. It's easy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because you heard it, you can't understand it.
Exactly. And I think there's something really good about that, because then your mind can't get involved and start talking to you.
Exactly. You just have to sit there and receive it.
Right. We just
that's a pretty cool thing. And don't you find that difficult to receive?
Yeah, because the mind just keeps running, keeps talking you into things and out of things. It's very boring.
No off button. There's no off buttons.
It's very boring. So it's great, when you can control those thoughts, but those thoughts are always running.
Oh, yeah.
And so when you're doing something that doesn't involve language, our language,
right?
I think it's so much easier.
Yeah.
It is. And it's, we can accept a cup of coffee or a handshake, but even giving a hug can be like, maybe not. So those words, speaking from experience, you try to decipher them. Are you leaning into them? Did they really mean that? Did they not mean that? Are they being, so you start doing this whole big thing. But with this, it's like, you really don't have much choice but to get out of the way.
Yes.
If you're smart.
If you're smart. If you're smart, yes. But that's really the beauty of it.
Yeah.
Because I think the more I'm going to be working with clients with this going forward, my mentees, those women primarily that are in the 3-month container and so on, they're going to have quicker progress with what they wish to do because they're not overthinking it. It's just going to naturally happen
Makes sense.
and move forward.
Well, and all the latest neuroscience studies are backing up what Joe Dispenza has been saying, that we have to get out of our small self,
Right.
in order to accept the quantum field as something that can move and change us in our lives and our circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes sense. And then removing our language, because it becomes a barrier when we use it, then it makes more sense to do that for people that way.
Right.
Yeah,
You know,
getting out of our own way is so difficult sometimes.
Because it can be. I don't want to say it is. It can be. Let's leave a little room for improvement there,
Definitely.
because we've all been programmed, intentionally, unintentionally. I mean, the three of us are women, so there were certain things that we couldn't do growing up. And it's not. I was reminded frequently. It wasn't until 50s, 60s, 70s that women could take out a credit card in her own name.
That's true.
I
mean, really, really crazy stuff, the things you take for granted. So we've all been programmed, and depending where you are in the pecking order with your siblings and where you live and your religion and so all of these, so it's kind of training you went to for high school or junior college or college. There's all of the stuff that comes in, and it starts melding with all the other stuff. It can be a little interesting to untangle all of that so you can come back out to play.
Right.
That sounds nice.
Yeah. And can this, I would imagine it could, make a difference on any kind of stored trauma? You talked about that a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
So it can help you release your trauma from your body.
It absolutely would. I hit a couple nerves over the weekend that were extremely poignant. In fact, it was so poignant. They initially, when it was over, they wanted to have another session, come back again, and they didn't. And I caught up with them before the weekend was over. I said, I know why you didn't, and it's okay. And they're like, I'm like, no, when you're ready, you know where to find me. But you have to be ready to be a bit raw and vulnerable. Light language, because it's light, and pure light casts no shadow. So there's nothing wrong with light language. It's pure joy. It's pure love. It's that pureness that we all say we want, and then have such a really hard time when it shows up to step into it.
Yeah.
Right.
That's always the hardest, isn't it?
Isn't it? Because we're so used to struggling, and anything you want, anything worth having, you have to work hard for. And it doesn't necessarily have to be that way.
No, it doesn't.
But we love to make it difficult, and our ego willingly, complies. Like, okay, you want to make it hard? I can play that game, sure.
Yeah.
So it's just.
Well, we had a battle. We've had battles in our own families, battles in school, at work. It just became this like instant warfare that we'd have to step into, and sometimes in order to get what we thought was important in life.
Exactly. And that's funny you said those words. What you thought was important. Because sometimes what you thought was important, it doesn't really necessarily give you that happiness, that joy that you thought it was going to. You're looking for something outside of you.
Right.
I was talking with someone, you were talking about the fact of what the female is going through now, and how things have changed so much, and how aggressive other things are towards a female. And they said, well, I want to go back to Leave It to Beaver. I'll wear my pearls and I'll vacuum if that's what it takes to give us peace and quiet. But from the early 50s on, women have had to step forward and no holds barred. If we wanted to work, we've got to do the work.
Exactly. And that holds true. My clientele is 96% women, but it's the guys too. If you want to, it's for humankind. If you want to do something, there's going to be some baggage to unpack.
Definitely.
True. Very true.
I've seen, because I was a therapist for so many years, and I've seen, people have a very clear intent of what they want to accomplish, but then they're pulled back because there is so much stored trauma
Mhm.
at a cellular level. And that's why I'm always wanting to know, is this technique or is that technique really working? Is this getting the cellular level of trauma to release? And so it
Yeah.
sounds like with the channeling of the angel language that you can also help that release on a very deep level, because
Mhm.
if you can't release it, it's always going to pull you back. Always.
Getting out of our own way is the hardest thing to do.
Well,
It absolutely can be. And, and it's, there's not a one size fits all. So I always kind of want to say
No.
that as a caveat. To make it a little bit lighter, Baskin and Robbins has 31 flavors. We all want ice cream, but we want something. So it depends on a person's history, what tool or tools will be the best for them. Light language will be one of them. And I think also, so I'd be curious on your thoughts on this, Patricia, because you were the therapist in the background, that we want to get better, but we often will slip back because it's what we know. We may not like it, but it's what we know. We know what to expect. And we don't know what to expect, off screen.
we don't. And that's a very important point. I mean, if you look at the Carlos Castaneda material from long ago, back in the 70s, that hit the New York Times bestseller list, it really struck a nerve with everybody that was interested in that kind of thing. That was one of the most important points of those books, is to take a leap into the unknown. They went over and over that. And of course, it sounded like at the time that he was talking about actually taking a leap off a real cliff.
And not being pushed.
Really wasn't what it was about. But it is a leap into the quantum field. So yeah, we tend to get nervous and scared because it is the unknown. The rules are different.
True.
The rules are different. But you know what? We have 3 decisions. We can say no, we can say yes, or we can say nothing, which is a decision in itself.
Yeah.
Not one that we want to make. We just don't want to verbalize it.
That's the hardest one, isn't it?
It is. So it's I keep saying, because my parents are 85 and they're incredibly active. They're leaving later this month they're going to Europe for 2 months. And my dad decided he wanted to learn how to use the ham radio at 85. Why? Because he felt like it.
Good.
So, and me sharing that, we're constantly evolving. If you want to change and if you want your life to be better, then we have to do something with it.
Very true.
Right. And it doesn't always have to be a big leap. It can be sometimes getting up and getting out of bed in the morning is a big thing for some people, and other people, it is taking a bigger leap. Like I just invested in myself the largest amount in one thing than I ever have. And it was like, but then every now and then I would just settle into like, no, this is exactly what I need to do for me. So I can then be more of service, because that's me. I am very much of service. So I can make our life more balanced, at home while serving more people. So when we understand why we want to move forward, sometimes it helps that movement forward also be a whole lot easier.
Yeah. And it's really, really important to keep this in mind. When I've talked to people who I have known throughout the years who have passed, and I ask them, why did you pass? The answer was, because I stopped growing.
See?
My soul was no longer happy with me because I wasn't growing anymore.
Yeah.
I was stuck. And I wasn't going to grow anymore. So it was time for a change of scene. And I heard that so clearly. It was like, wow.
And I couldn't agree with that more. How often have you heard of someone dying shortly after they retired?
Yes.
Definitely.
Good point.
Their purpose is gone in their mind's eye.
And they're just stagnant.
Yeah. They're stagnant and they don't know what they're supposed to do anymore. So they're not going to grow.
Right.
But I think we all go through stages of trying to figure out what we're going to be when we grow up. And growing up is next week, next month, next year. But there's that constant feeling of uncertainty if we've got it right or not. Well, right.
Yeah.
How do we say what's right?
Yeah. Well, I'm 64 and I know I still don't have it right. And I know I'm perfectly imperfect. And I'm like, you know what? It took me a while to say I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm
I
going
like that.
to keep growing.
I'm 87 and I go through the same thing.
Right.
Trying to figure out what I'm going to be when I grow up.
80s.
Still looking.
Ah,
We're young at heart, so we're constantly curious.
Yeah. We've got things to do.
We have things to do, places to go, people to see and heal.
yes.
That's right. I want to dress up and be a hussy. I don't care what they say.
I love it. So this is that fun part of spirituality is we get to explore.
Mm-hmm.
And because it's spirituality, there's also, you can't prove it. You see the results of what you do. Like someone could say they're a descendant of Cleopatra. I'm like, okay, well,
big deal.
You can't prove it, and I'm not, discrediting anybody that might be that's listening, but it's how does that get incorporated into your life now? That really matters.
Right.
Only if Mark Anthony's around.
Yeah.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yes, I agree.
Devil made me do it.
Oh, those are all little hot flashes, right?
About getting older, we can say whatever we want, and we don't really care.
So when I am old, I shall wear purple. Is that the saying?
Yeah. With the red hat.
Yeah.
Well, so right now, let me just ask you a little bit about your clientele. Do you see any particular issue coming about with your clients, like an en masse type of issue that your women clients and men are coming to you with?
The first thing that comes to mind is confusion, because they're all spiritually, whether they're doing spirituality in the outside world or not, they have a deeper spiritual awareness. And at their core, they are energetically lighter. But then they get here. Do we need to go any further? They're just so confused. Like, I signed up for this? Really? And explain this to me again. What? So there's this confusion, and then that starts permeating into a lot of areas. Like, what am I supposed to do? Even if like a couple of, actually more than a couple of the women that I did readings for over the weekend, they already have their own business, but they're pivoting it. And they're not sure what they want to do next, but they know what they're doing is no longer bringing that joy. They want to go a bit deeper to help more people. So there is that. They want to be more of service, but they're confused on how to get there. So depending on, again, who's sitting in front of me, it can be, let's just start with some clutter clearing, literally get the stuff out of your house so you can think more clearly. It can be food connected, because when we're super sensitive, very empathic, and no one's taught us how to protect ourselves or how to cut cords or how to clear energy, just give me the stuff so I have this big buffer around me so I don't feel it as much. So it really depends on who's in front of me because what I've learned, what I do, I meet you where you are,
Right.
and then bring you on your soul's journey, what you're supposed to do.
You mentioned in a roundabout way being overweight, and I mean, every time I go to my phone and look at any of the social media, everything's about the latest and greatest drugs that can make you lose weight. Now, I can't relate to that because I'm the opposite. I've always been skinny and could never gain weight, and
I'm the exception.
I used to eat like a truck driver, and I'd never gain any weight. So it was hard for me to conceptualize what other people would be going through and why this is such an issue. But you really hit the nail on the head. It's all about protection, I'm sure. What you're saying.
Oh, definitely.
Creating that buffer zone.
Because maybe they were bullied, maybe they were sexually assaulted, maybe they were raped.
So now
maybe they were ridiculed because they were too smart or they were too pretty, or who knows. And it doesn't have to be a repeated offense. It could be, and like something said in that one moment that can have a lasting impact.
Right.
And if that stuff really seeps in, I have no proof to support what I'm about to say, but I am convinced it contributes to autoimmune disorders.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
I
Because
agree. I thoroughly agree with you on that.
thank you. Because we don't know how to process it. So it just stays there and it kind of eats the body from the inside out. So, and the irony is some of the most overweight women I've had the pleasure to work with are highly intuitive and extremely sensitive. And
that sensitivity is a gift and a nightmare at the same time.
It's a nightmare only because they've never were taught.
Well, that's the whole thing. Yeah.
And even if they were taught when they got older, they didn't go through that trauma to help them do that. So they could be healthier and have more joy in their life.
Right.
And the work I'm doing is certainly getting deeper, because I don't know if I ever told you, I wanted to be a psychologist when I was a little girl. So I've always had this yearning to help and to empower people. And now I'm just using a different vehicle for it. So it's going to get deeper and working with that inner child, but using the light language and all of the healing protocols I've been trained in, plus, and basically everything at my disposal. It's going to be helping.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Oh, I was going to say, being able to work forward from what you know now could be 10 times more important than what you thought you were going to do.
I know.
Because you're able to touch more people closely without them feeling challenged.
Yeah.
It's so next level. I mean, again, I want to listen to words, but you listen to the sounds and where it's coming. Because it's not coming from here. When you started to PK, I mean, I could see it was coming from a whole different dimension, which again makes it very interesting and very powerful. So
I think so, and I'm loving it. I really am. It just, excuse the pun, it really lights me up. I just
Isn't that the
best of words, guys?
That's the best of everything in the world, by doing something that does that for you.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
That's right.
So that's what I'm super excited about. Where it's going, don't know. I don't have to know. I just know it's big and it has the potential to impact, I think, more than they're going to let me conceptualize right now. Because I think once again they're going to go, "We would blow your brains out if we told you."
Right.
And for your next trick.
Exactly.
Oh, God.
Let me ask you now, I can't be left out now that PK has had her experience. So
I can't believe no one's calling in yet.
I can. It's like people are so shy today. And yes, they're very
afraid to know what they can be told. I'm finding that with some of my clients the same way. They want an answer, but they don't want to hear it. And you go, okay.
Yeah.
Watch the balls in the air. One of them's going to bounce back and get you, whether you like it or not.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. Absolutely true.
Yes.
Okay, Patricia, you want your turn now, honey?
I do. I want my turn. I got to experience this.
Okay, so what would you like to focus on?
I'd like to focus on an old memory about being abducted by ETs when I was a child. I've gotten pieces of it. I'd like to get the rest of it.
So you want to know, this goes into some old TV or radio show. You want to know the rest of the story.
The rest of the story. Of course you would.
Here's the rest of it. Yes.
She's like that. Give it to her.
Okay. Se me sei così, mi come ci sono mi sono così tocca. Se me ne posso ne basic me sono basic me sono business. Se ne musica. Se mi sei così co. Di me ne con ci pensi ne ci così pratica. Se pensi così. Se pensi così 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 che ti così che te pece che te così che te dico. Se ne mi se ne così così dico. Si pensi così così che. E così. Se così. Se ne pensi così me ne così me ne va. Mani sako, na mani sene kosti ni kausa. Sene kosti ni kausi tu kosi katika. Ma sene kausi ni katsu kutu. Siro kosti tu. Sime si sikutko. Sene mo. Nim sene me na kausa ni me na kata ko ho. Sene kosi kosti. Sene si kosi ro kosi ko tu 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 ko kosi ka. Biko. Wosiko. Wosiko. Sukiko siko si. Wosisiko siko. Poof. Suko stirpen negro siko to. Sene ponto. Amen.
Wow. So I felt a lot of chills when you were doing that. So it was very physical sensation. And I kept seeing 4 of the entities, 4 angels that you work with. And then a 5th that came in at the very end. So I don't know who you were working with, but it was very clear it was more than one.
Oh, most definitely. I know Michael came in specifically because I was drawing his sigil because you're being stubborn. Sorry, their words about wanting to. I know, colored me shocked. You really want to know all of this, so Michael's going to be surrounding you a lot more, so you're more protected. Because I don't know what happened. I don't know the whole. I'm not seeing anything, but all I know, they wanted you to make sure that you were more protected, as you were determined to remember more of this. I'm asking who else was there. Metatron might have been.
The scribe.
Right. So if he was there, Sandalphon was there as well to help anchor the memories in. How old were you when this happened?
Well, I know for sure I was 10 because I have medical records that support it, but I know it happened before 10. I think 8 is another time. And I've been told earlier too, but I don't have an actual memory of that.
Yeah, I'm getting you were about 6, 5.5, 6.
I think Michelle said that too. Michelle Claire, who we had on.
Okay.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, that rings a bell.
Okay. So that first time, little tiny girl, kind of a little scared. So that there's that Michael protection. I'm not sensing that there was anything bad that happened. But there again, reprogramming that little girl, it's like, what are you doing to me? So there's that protection, knowing you're there. Oh, cool. They're showing me also, so don't be surprised if your dragon shows up too now.
My dragon? Oh,
your
boy.
dragon. Your dragon.
Say this. You're so funny. You say this. I can't believe it.
Tell me why.
Well, I will. I had to go to a garden store to get a pot for a plant I have called angel trumpets.
Oh, I love those. They're great.
They're gorgeous, right? And my angel trumpet had outgrown its pot. So I went to the store to get a pot, and I noticed that they had dragons to put in your garden.
There you go.
And they were beautiful. And I thought, oh, I should buy one. I'm like, oh, my husband's going to give me so much about this. I'm not going to get it right now.
You wouldn't do that.
But it's on my list, and it'll just magically appear. And I don't know where it came from.
Honey, it's been there for years. You just now noticed it?
That's right. It's magic. Remind him it's magic. They come and go as they please.
That's so funny because I was admiring these dragons that somebody had made as garden ornaments, and they were on these little sticks and they moved, but they were beautiful. And here you're talking about my own dragon. Now, what does that mean when you say to somebody, you're going to have your own dragon?
Well, your dragon's has always been with you. You just really haven't paid attention. So when you do your own, when you do your own astral travel, it's pretty much on the back of the dragon. So it's got a little bit of Michael's energy in it. Your dragon, I'm seeing like iridescent greens and blacks, but the purple, that really deep purple iridescent with you. Big dragon. And it's been with you there to protect you. It's one of the reasons that they're around. But it helps you. So you don't need that car in your logo. You need your dragon. The two of them. Right? It's the dragon. It's the dragon.
In there. Redesign.
Figures.
Design.
This is great. Thank you. That was very helpful. And it
Mhm.
feels like a lot is coming together with just what you did. And it was very powerful. I mean, I could feel things moving
Mhm.
on a very deep level. So I encourage everybody, have your own experience with Christine. Because,
Definitely.
yeah, this was
Definitely.
very different, very unique. It helps a lot because it gets you out of the way and you can have knowledge and openness come to you pretty darn easily. So
Yeah, it's pretty fast, isn't it?
Mhm.
very fast.
Definitely.
And you
Definitely.
both look at each other, but you both, I think, look lighter energetically.
Oh, I know I feel lighter. I
Good.
was under stress when I first sat down,
I
and
know
now
you
I feel Chatty Cathy's here again.
I like Chatty Cathy. She's fun.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, we're running out of time. This show is too
Oh,
short. I'm sorry, but
it
it is.
is.
It is.
Yeah, I know. Our other show is an hour and a half, and this one's like 50 minutes. But we're going to have you come back because we wanted
Definitely.
you to talk to Chanel, and now there's no time.
I know.
So
I would be honored and blessed as always to chat with each
yes,
of you.
Oh,
yes.
thank
And
you.
next time we'll see if anybody else wants to join us. But this was just great. Just a very intimate conversation with
Definitely.
you, which we deeply appreciate, and all the new exciting things that you're doing. You're
Thank
remarkable because you're brave and you take on the next challenge. It's great.
Well, I learned a long time ago, if I don't take the next challenge, I'm going to get up there anyway. So I might as well just do it willingly because,
It beats the
And
skin
take
knees,
credit for
doesn't
it.
it?
oh, so that you, funny you say that, and this may be my last thing. So we were at Red Rock, and I was just so enamored with the red rocks that I tripped over something. Not a
Mhm.
straight. You know how I landed in the pose of the goddess. I'm like,
Oh,
you guys are just too funny. I literally landed. My leg is bent, and my hands up over my knee. I'm like, seriously, dudes.
I hope you got a picture.
I did. I had too many women going, "Are you okay?"
yeah.
Fine. I just feel really stupid right now.
No.
No,
It was show and tell, that's all.
And indeed, it was.
but it's so great. You were with such a supportive group of women. And again, this is where they say the healing's going to happen, is with all of us coming together and not
Definitely.
being invisible. You also mentioned that at the beginning of the show about
Mhm.
women being invisible. We're afraid to be seen. We're afraid to step up for whatever reason.
No.
It's a very real fear.
Pinky square, no more hiding.
Yes, yes. Okay.
You too, PK. Pinky up, baby. Pinky
Pinky.
swear. No
Definitely.
more hiding.
Got both of them.
Good. This has been great. So again, your website is angelchatter, CHATTER.com. People can go there. And also, you've got some great stuff. You've got stuff.
Mhm.
I got the stuff, baby.
Oh,
I
boy. Woohoo.
have oracle card decks.
Yes, that's right.
I have
Wonderful.
books. I have jewelry. I have amazing sacred aromatherapy line, candles, misters, and
And they're
droppers.
all beautiful. So everybody go there, take a look, and we'll be back next week with another great show. But until then, we will see you all on the Blue Highway. Happy dreaming on your dragon.
Hi, y'all.